is it, guys. It's the final episode of our Singapore adventure.
Wow, that's cool.
And we've still got a bunch of places to take you.
In our other Singapore episodes, we've taken you to one of the most amazing water parks in the world.
And stood next to the biggest fish tanks we've ever seen.
But today, we're taking you inside one.
What's it like swimming with the ocean's most amazing sea creatures in a water park?
We'll show you one of the oldest and most spectacular bird parks in the world. Days before it closed forever.
And while we're there, you'll find out what the world's original angry bird eats for breakfast.
How high up does the tallest Ferris Wheel in Asia go? And what can you see from up there?
Plus, our ultimate challenge. How many places can we take you on our last day in Singapore? Between checking out of the hotel and getting on the plane.
The answer will surprise you, and so will the beautiful places we go.
But first, grab your snorkel, because we're off to Adventure Cove Water Park in their Rainbow Reef.
The first fish we met was a yellowfin surgeonfish.
And this little guy's called a yellow tang.
Rainbow Reef is home to over 20,000 fish. We tried counting them all, but they kept moving, which made it a bit hard.
That's a fox-faced rabbitfish. What the heck? That's the weirdest name ever! That's so funny. Okay.
These unicorn fish were able to move way faster through the water than us.
These guys were beautiful with their stripes and spots. They're called sailfin tang.
We wanted to see inside that treasure chest so bad, but we couldn't dive down there in our life jackets.
Once we'd explored Rainbow Reef, we found the craziest wave pool we've ever been in.
It was called Blue Water Bay, and the waves were bigger than us.
It was so cool.
We go out further. And my favourite thing about them, I kept asking Mum to let go of me so then I could get in the waves, and then I did.
And then, like a magic, they can make the waves just stop. And it was super calm.
It felt like there was a million different things to do everywhere we turned. Wow, that's cool. Water play stations, water slides, giant water pistols. But the most amazing was also the biggest. That was so cool.
Going almost all the way around the entire Adventure Cove Water Park was the massive Adventure River. And above us, we noticed a giant bucket filling with water.
But Mum didn't see it. And then this happened.
Let's take a look at that again in super slow motion. Then the Adventure River reached a giant cave.
With bats.
I thought those bats were real at first.
There was even a giant fish tank in there as well. We've never swum in a cave before. It was dark.
When you were swimming underneath and you could see all the lights like coming through the water at you, it was really cool.
Then we climbed onto this giant floating donut thing.
The funniest part was that sometimes we'd hear a giant pop, like the world's biggest balloon popping. But then we found out that it was other people's giant donuts.
Before ours popped, we jumped off and swam through a giant aquarium that went all the way over us. Wow!
Then the most amazing thing happened. The giant stingrays started swimming alongside us.
Is that how they say hello?
They were so beautiful. Adventure River was the most amazing swimming pool we have ever experienced.
One of the coolest things was that, like a real river, it had its own current, gently pushing you around the water park.
Well, it was sort of gentle and sort of strong.
Guys, this is such a strong current. If I try to swim that way, I can't at all. Yeah, so when we tried to swim against the current or upstream, we would just be swimming in the one spot without even moving forward.
We could have stayed there forever, but it was time to dry off and get to our next destination.
7-Eleven! Well, not really.
We just stopped at 7-Eleven. We'd seen these little key rings for weeks, and today we were super lucky for Mum to get them for us.
Mine was shaped like a milkshake, but you couldn't really drink from it because it was sealed shut. And the stuff inside probably wouldn't taste so good either.
The food in Singapore was so yummy.
I'm so excited about the next place we're going to take you.
Everywhere we've shown you on our adventures, you can visit yourself one day, except for this next spot.
Jurong Bird Park is embarking on a heritage-filled swan song as it prepares to close for good. Now, the park will welcome its final guests on January the 3rd next year, exactly 52 years to the day that it first opened its doors. It will then move to a brand new home at Mandai Wildlife Reserve.
We were so lucky to visit the bird park before all the birds moved to their new home. Everywhere we walked, there was beautiful birds we've never seen.
The Jurong Bird Park was home to over 400 different species of birds, and we were doing our best to see them all.
It wasn't just the birds that were amazing. It was also the habitat. It felt like we were in another world.
The park had been there since 1971, which is even older than Dad.
For a long time, this was the highest man-made waterfall on Earth.
And we discovered it was more beautiful today than ever. The Singaporeans and Mother Nature had created something amazing over the last 50 years, and we got to experience it, just like the millions of visitors from all over the world before us.
When the bird park first opened, even the Queen came to Singapore to see it. And she rode on a tram car, just like this one we're on.
There were over 3,500 different birds.
Wow, let's give them a big round of applause.
It was crazy to think that none of them would be here anymore. The bird park isn't just cool for seeing and learning about different birds. It's important because it has a breeding and research centre that helps endangered species so they don't become extinct and disappear forever.
We also learnt that I'm bigger than a king penguin, but not quite as big as an emperor penguin.
And I'm almost as tall as an emperor penguin, which would be crazy if one was actually standing next to me.
Okay guys, we are going to the show. We're on the road walking. I should be on the path right now. We're going to be there soon. I think we're going to see parrots and stuff. is a great hornbill. He was so big!
There was a cockatoo from Australia called Big John. But we just called them cockies.
He wasn't very well behaved though, so they had to take him away.
The great white pelicans from Africa came out, and then
The Australian pelicans came out.
And then we saw Amigo, the famous Amazon parrot. And why was he famous?
And then we finally saw the bird we had heard so much about.
The shoebill.
In tropical East Africa, where he's from, he can eat turtles, lots of fish, and even small crocodiles. But we thought he looked gentle and kind.
He is one of only 30 shoebills under human care in the world.
He was so cool. He even came over to pose for a photo with us.
Look out, mate! Don't let the shoebill see you. Luckily, this guy wasn't actually anywhere near the shoebill, which I'm sure wouldn't have worried him. The good news for this green iguana is that he's about to get the entire place to himself once the birds move to their new home.
After 52 years, we made it to the Jurong Bird Park with 120 days left till it closed forever. We were very lucky.
But if you're worried about the birds having to leave their home, the good news is their new place looked amazing when we saw what it was going to look like.
I think they're going to be really happy there. And I think we should come back to see them in their new home soon.
We said goodbye to the Jurong Bird Park and had one more thing to do before bed.
For our entire stay in Singapore, almost everywhere we'd gone, we could see the biggest Ferris wheel in Asia. But now it was time we get on board the Singapore Flyer.
It wasn't like any Ferris wheel we'd ever been on before. It was so big, we could stand up and even walk around in our pod.
As we rose higher and higher, we could see the racetrack for the Singapore Grand Prix below us.
And we kept going up and up and up until we reached its highest point, 165 meters up in the sky.
If you're in America, that's over 540 feet,
which was extra exciting,
but also pretty tiring. So we went to bed for our last sleep in Singapore. Well, we are going to be going back to Australia, but I'm very excited. I have to find something to buy today because I only have 3 Singapore dollars, and Australia doesn't allow those because they don't know what Singapore dollars are.
So, as well as finding something to spend 3 Singapore dollars on, we have to check out of the hotel, get to the airport and fly home to Australia. Or we could see how many cool things we can do in our last hours before our plane leaves in a last day in Singapore challenge.
I choose the last day in Singapore challenge.
Well then, before we check out of the hotel, it's our last chance to quickly swim in the pool on the roof. Because the average September day in Singapore is a low temperature of 25 degrees and a high temperature of 31 degrees,
it's always a good time for a swim.
It's so sad this is our last day. So we're going to play in the pool and then we're going to... where?
Chinatown.
You know one of the coolest parts about some of the trains in Singapore? They don't have a driver. A computer drives the train, which means there's no one at the front. So it looks like I'm driving the train.
Another cool thing we learnt about Singapore, when on an escalator, everyone stands on the left in case someone in a rush needs to go past on the right.
Because 3/4 of Singapore citizens are Chinese, Chinatown is very special.
There were buildings over 100 years old and shops with traditional and new Chinese food and ornaments.
Chinatown in Singapore is famous for its murals, painted onto the walls of lots of its buildings. It was like the world's biggest picture book.
We found a place for lunch that looked good. But we had no idea that it was going to be the best food we ate for the entire time we had been in Singapore.
That is the best thing I've ever had. Delicious. I wish we stayed in Singapore longer so we could have gone back there.
How was it, girls?
It was the best food ever. It was delicious.
And we were very lucky to be allowed to visit Chinatown's Buddha Tooth Relic Temple. Where we learnt about Buddhist art, history and culture over thousands of years old.
It was the calmest and quietest place.
It was so peaceful.
The temple's roof garden has this beautiful prayer wheel.
And it also has this monument called the Pagoda of the 10,000 Buddhas. But there are actually 11,111 Buddhas.
Burning incense is a Buddhist custom. We burnt these incense sticks and placed them in the sand as an offering of respect and thanks.
It felt good to spend some time at the temple.
But now it was time to get moving. Because there's one last amazing thing we promised to show you. And it's at the airport.
With one train trip left to go, our train passes ran out of money.
And just like that, 2 of my last 3 Singapore dollars were gone.
Now, let's try that again.
Oh, and by the way, that last Singapore dollar got us Hello Pandas.
So, it was off the train, into a taxi, and on our way to the airport.
And there's one amazing thing about Singapore that makes their airport different to every other airport in the world.
Singapore Airport has the highest indoor waterfall on Earth inside the terminal.
It's called the Changi. It's 14 meters high. And it's the craziest thing we've ever seen inside a building.
It was an amazing way to finish our Singapore adventure.
We were so lucky to explore one of the most beautiful, smallest and unique countries in the world.
And it's a journey we'll never forget.
I think we do a lot of pieces in our videos. On this one at least.
If you had fun coming with us, make sure you subscribe to our channel for more places to explore and people to meet.
And most importantly, always remember to
Be yourself!